Boom, boom. Okay. This is Bridges for Music. First off, we at the Bridges Academy would like to thank Pioneer for their involvement in this podcast. Secondly, a big thank you to you, the listener. Your support makes this podcast series worthwhile. In this episode, we connect the beats with the stories behind them by diving into the vibrant world of Kususa, the dynamic electronic dance music duo hailing from Durban, South Africa. Comprising Kunzima theology and Samurai Yususa, their sound seamlessly blends house, Afro-House, and techno. Get ready for an insightful journey into the beats and tales that define Kususa on this episode of the Bridges for Music podcast.
All right, some exciting news today, or some exciting guests that we have on studio. Most of you don't know him personally, so this is the time to get to know him quite personally, and it's exclusive at the Bridges podcast. So yeah, welcome guys.
None other than Kususa side.
Yeah.
Kususa. Kususa. Yes.
So happy to have you. Thank you so much for being with us. So we'll start from the beginning, right? I know we know the brand Kususa, but we don't know you personally. So please start by introducing yourself.
Okay, so I'm Samurai Yususa, half of Kususa. So Kususa is the duo, by the way.
Yes.
Duo, I work closely with Joshua, stage name Kunzima. And yeah, we've been doing this since like 2016. That's
quite a long time if you think about it.
7 years?
Yeah. And like you, the duet of Kususa, like started in 2016.
Okay.
But obviously, when are you been like doing
So
your thing?
I've been like a producer since like 2008, from way in high school, and then went to varsity. Obviously, the love of doing music has been with me. And then I took a stance to actually just do music. And then we just like it worked out, and I was fortunate to meet my partner in 2015, and then started sharing ideas, and so from there we created Kususa, which was that's a coincidence actually, because we were just doing two different sounds, but we actually just kind of love what each of us brought to the table.
Okay.
That was actually answered my second question I was going to ask. What makes Kususa? Why Kususa? Where does that come from?
Okay, so the name itself, Kususa, means to start over, right? It's Shona. Kususa, from like taking from, So my stage name is Samurai Yususa, right?
Yes.
If you are part of the class, I was telling them a joke that the Yasusa part, I got it when I was DJing somewhere in Eastern Cape, and they were like, "Yo, no, Jesus."
Okay.
So from there, then I added an adjective because I'm just fascinated with anime. Samurai, and recently we went to Japan. Shout out to that.
Tokyo.
And then the other guy, who Joshua, stage name is Kunzima Theology, which when he explains that, it's like he's very more of a calm person, and is into spirituality more than anything. So if you take the KU from Kunzima and the Su from Yasusa, you get like Kususa, which literally means what we did, because I left my brand for Kususa, he left his brand and then started over.
A funny one, actually, if you think about it, Darling was still in our relationship phases. You take Ikama of your partner.
Yes.
I know, right?
But like, where are you guys like from? Because after a masterclass, I actually learned something new. That's course, and I always thought something like you guys from Durban. That's what I thought.
Like I'm from Montfrey. Josh is from Kandul. We both closest, just born in Durban. I guess our parents' job opportunities or whatever the reason are. But yeah, man, we at the most highest level shared that we Kususa's very proudly of, and we bring that to the table. Now, if you listen to our music, it's very orientated with like the drums, you know. Kususa has very rigid drums. Kususa Zulu, they have like those rigid drums, so we bring that mostly to the table with the music.
All right, awesome.
So like now that like nihlala ne-Durban, didn't you guys like feel like pressure with like the sound lenenza because iqomo sedominator?
Yes,
I understand. So like now you go and do something like good from that.
I think personally we both had the same ambitions, you know. Like for the longest time I was very fascinated with EDM and like I always saw the brand as guys which can play Tomorrowland anytime, or, you know. So that's gave us the direction we kind of doing, you know, because our sound is mostly has techno influence, you know, but since we born in Africa, we will have the rhythm whether we like it or not, you know.
Comes within. Beautiful. We're still talking on the music. I remember when we just had class, you were telling us or going through the process of making music. One of the things you mentioned quite important is that when you start, you need to have a story or a direction. You spoke about we said let's talk about umuntu that broke your heart. Now you want to go to the famous song.
I like that.
I want to go to the famous song Asanda. Is there a story behind that? Is there
I saw the story. No, it's not someone specific. You know, like how we actually came up with the song with Uzex. It's just crazy, you know, because we were jamming in studio, just doing this beat, and obviously at that time it was just kind of sounding like what Kususa would do naturally, you know. And then he came in, and then he started writing all this lyrics, you know. I think one thing stuck with us was that Asanda ufuna moto, you know, and like I'll give it to Zex. He's such a very intentional writer. Also, you know, he can capture like, because if you really think about Istosa Asanda, it's something which is happening in the community, whereby guys will actually lie about the car, lie about the lifestyle, trying to fit in, you know. Atsumuntu, I know, I'm in Musenberg, just to find out to say Philip, you know, and so those things happen, and he brought that story to life, you know. So unfortunately, it doesn't have any girl to
Okay, Napo, like okay, so I've been like doing this like since like 2010.
2010.
Yeah, so it's like over a decade. So at least since so I like to know like from a producer to I would say an upcoming one. What like do you think like so would you rather to do it on their own or to get signed by a big label?
Okay, I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Okay. So there are two things. You can be a session producer.
Yes.
Someone who's gonna make beats for Ladies Ama or for other artists, right? There's success in that. And it depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to be a brand, I'd suggest that maybe you do it yourself. Yes. It takes longer, but then it creates your own destiny, right? There's comfort in getting signed. Yes. One thing about being black and South Africans, there's pressure, right? There's pressure that you should have studied something, have a 9-to-5 work, you know, and everyone, like mostly our parents, when they look at us, it's like, oh, these guys are just slacking and they just top on the computer, man. You don't go
finishing the grocery,
you know. That's the conversation within the family, you know. So there's comfort in getting signed because definitely they'll take care of that. You get a staplant, background.
You sorted basically.
But if there's not your ambition, it becomes a problem because it won't satisfy the brand ambition you have.
Yes.
So you don't become a brand. You know, it's just it's like a 9 to 5.
Like I was gonna say that right now. It feels like basically.
And
Okay.
getting paid for your IP. So
Yeah.
And Kususa and I are they signed?
we're not signed.
Oh, okay.
So we've been independent artists. We have our own label now, which is a label and a publisher. We just signed our own artist, Infected, which has been in the game.
Yes.
And like we just have different ambitions in how we want to do this label thing, you know. Like releasing or licensing our music with many labels led us to this, because Uzofika, they're giving you a very, I'm not sure if I can say it, but they're giving you like bad deals, you know.
Feel free to say so.
No, they're giving you shitty deals.
Yeah.
And then like people are like, they're taking 50%, they're licensing your song.
Yeah.
And then some guys just chilling in Italy, doesn't care about your song, you know. Or no pusha, because you think it's right, but for me it's just exploitation at hundreds, you know.
True.
Whereby it's now easier to release a song, even by a DistroKid or just a normal distributor, Lana, it's up to 10%.
Yeah.
You know, so most people with that knowledge, it's kind of, you know, it's not out there as much, you know. So they tend to just go to the labels and yeah. So that's why we started our own label, and we just want to just do it differently. You know? Fair deals and, you know.
That's great. Really awesome. Really awesome. I know we just mentioned one was Expandwini is one of the artists that you've been working with, but what other artists up in South Africa would you like to work with?
Biggest on the list, Sister Samazai.
Yes.
Please. Oh, that would be beautiful.
King Ta.
It would be beautiful.
King Ta.
Like I really like to tap into very indigenous side of her, you know, whereby the song is maybe like really like closer song, you know, like a closer hymn, and then we try and make it very electronic.
I can
and
feel
then
it,
you know, like kind of just, I feel like for me that would really like tap into something very magical, you know, for essay, you know.
A lot. No, I actually agree with that. And internationally?
Yeah, internationally there's no guys, like I don't.
Local is lacquer.
Yeah, but with international, like I just feel like everyone is our peers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no guys who like, oh yeah, we wanna work with Ash, and we don't have those ambitions, you know. We wanna just do things very what's this word? Organic, you know. Yeah.
But Isandin is like kind of like spiritual, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I remember like on one of the gigs, right? So like people, like it was like full like impact. They were just sitting down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you made to Theo.
Yes.
So it was
spiritual tea.
it was actually one of his gigs. So like now okay, fine. So he gives me the set. I'm gonna play 2 hours set. So I'm like I'm starting to feel them, but because at the end of the day there's like 3 other teachers coming in. But Squatter, I'm kind of opening
sales.
Sure.
You have to respect that.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, cool. Let me just, because it sounded there is tech, but it's mostly influenced by progressive house. So I like that whole tribe. So I'm like, okay, let me just break the ice up because it is an Afro-House event. So I played Mabutete, like the way, like the lyrics in Jeka Zalangoma alone. So this is not really like a question, but it's something that I wanted. Like I knew that you're coming, so I wanted to tell you that, guys, please, bro, like Lendo, Lenians are you. I don't think you guys know, like maybe it's a Indonesian receiver from like heavens above. It's a message that like like has never separate. Please, you can walk on your separate project, but just do your thing.
Like I'll tell you something. I feel like most of the time, everything has its own like time lapse.
Sure.
True.
But one thing should remain the same is the music.
Yes.
So with Kususa, the music is the biggest bond.
Yeah.
So it's not because we are friends before or we just connect because of the music.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a lifelong relationship more than anything else, you know.
Of course.
And that's why it will always just remain as that. You know.
Yeah.
So ngaba khona like a single project, siyakunzima, whatever.
Yeah.
But will always be a Kususa project, you know.
Nice.
It will always come as Kususa because that's how we connect musically and you know. And
And you guys,
they good. I know. Sego's just getting hot in here. No, that's good.
And the backstory with Mabu Dede, you know, so we got commissioned this remix, and the guy's like, I need this by Monday.
Yes.
Send it Thursday. So you can imagine back then, Joshua was in Lazi, I'm from Lamunfield, like come through. And we usually, like, when we were producing that time, we usually would go to someone's studio, you know.
Okay.
And then this time, it's like, hey, Fitz, no, just come through, Lengo, Mafune against and go. One day, that's all. One day, we were playing via speaker as a thief.
Yeah.
So you can hear even the bass of the song. And if you really want to capture the feeling we're feeling, play it on a TV system. Like if I would speak, and then just listen to the bass. It plays a frequency difference than playing it on speakers.
It vibrates.
Yeah.
Yo. I was actually playing it for them actually. Like before you guys came to class. I wanted to like as you come in, just get surprised. Man.
So one thing about music connects, right? Music is a form of communication and connects people. I'm not sure if you know about the program here too. We actually focus on mindfulness.
Okay.
We think that artists don't take care of themselves usually. So one question, do you meditate?
Yes, sometimes.
Is it?
So I'll say sometimes because I have to. Like I have to meditate because I have like anxiety. You know, it's something I've been coping with, you know. So sometimes. But if I didn't, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm putting sometimes more than, But I have that and I've been trying to just cope with that. So I have to meditate and other stuff, you know. Psychologists, you know. There's those things that I really just value, you know, just having a sound bar with someone who will always kind of just put you to space.
Sure.
You know?
And as an artist, do you really think that's important?
It's very important because like the lifestyle itself is consuming, you know. So you can imagine if like you're doing it at our level, you obviously on gigs during the weekends, and then you come back on Monday and then you're back to reality. And then on Friday or Thursday, that's another gig. So already your mind needs to adjust to that. You know, most of the time the gigs are just maybe also, if you can imagine, nightlife is alcohol, it's
everything. It's lit.
You know,
late nights.
It's just late nights, you know, and that alone, and then coming back to hotels, and you're just alone. Stuck in four corners, it takes away. You know?
In a foreign country.
You know? So it takes away. So you need like a sound bar or like just to, you know, have that conversation with like a psychiatrist or whatever. But as I'm saying, for me, it's something I do because I have anxiety. You know. But I know.
People say artist anxiety.
Of course. Most, like I'd say this, most creatives, and I say creatives because this is not only on artists as musicians, but creatives as a whole, they suffer from being introverts, and then the industry wants you to become an extrovert. And I think that's where the the problem starts.
Sure.
You know, because social media is wanting so much from you. Yeah, they're wanting so much from you, and when you just wanna chill at home or do music, and you don't like about, hey, what do you think about this guy is moving the power station? You don't want to answer that, sometimes, but that's the expectation of social media, and that's why I think mostly artists or creative are highly likely to go through a depression, anxiety, and they'll have mind issues, because there's so many things taken from them. They're already giving. Because making music, you're already giving half of yourself.
Sure.
You're being the most vulnerable, and then people just want more from that, and it's bound to make anyone
crash.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So, okay. Another thing I wanted to ask. Well, I have a lot of questions, but I know you're busy guy. I'm not gonna keep you here for long. What benefit as Kususa gets from Black Off, like playing the music? Because that guy, you'd swear 80% of his set, Nini guys, and also I would find that I would listen to him playing, the last time I heard him play was, I think, on the 23rd of December.
Okay.
He was there at Kappa, one of my other residential spots.
Okay.
So,
Kappa's big.
Yeah. So, then I start, I'm shazamming everything.
Yes.
I'm that guy in the corner there. And I see about most of his stuff that he plays are your tracks, but they're unreleased.
Yeah.
So, how does he get them? So this is a two
question.
The benefits and how does it get them? Does it come through going by agents?
Yeah. Okay.
Hook me up,
okay. So let's start with the first part of the benefits.
Okay.
So Black Coffee plays at the biggest stage, and I think I said this on the masterclass, is that one of the biggest benefits is that now there's 40,000 people listening to your song.
Yes.
And those people will actually kind of Shazam the song.
Exactly.
Now you have 40,000 streams on a specific song.
Smart.
That's the biggest, most of the biggest benefits
Yeah.
of everything, beyond the feeling of, oh, this song is from the studio and now it's like on my stage. But the biggest one is that it correlates to the streams,
Sure.
and streams means income.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Smart.
So it's like it's a PR marketing tool more than anything else. And in terms of, I feel like it's either way. Sometimes you're just fortunate to on the studies, you jamming on projects which will be big on lives now,
Yes.
and then you're like, oh no, I heard the song,
Sure.
There's that element, and also if the song maybe is coming out, yo brah, there's that element also, so it's either way.
And I'm sure you guys don't mind giving him a track.
Of course.
Hi, nobody's getting hurt.
40,000.
Nobody's getting hurt.
40,000. I mean,
What do you mean?
well, who's playing on 40,000 people, bro? We went to one of the shows in Angola for Africa's Night Jungle.
Yes.
It was packed. In my life, that was the first time I played for that huge crowd. I remember halfway through the set, I had to kind of just pinch myself. But is this really what? Is this really my life?
So when you guys play, you will be playing such a hot
It's
song.
natural.
But God, you make it seem like
Even now, when you had a hot studio, you said you were going to play 2 songs and you just got into it.
I think it's love, man. We love this, Yeah, there's nothing beyond that. It's just love for the music and,
If you want to listen to these conversations live and have access to this incredible community, you can join us at our physical campus, the Bridges Academy in Langa, South Africa. A revolutionary learning space where you will find courses on music, entrepreneurship, film, DJing, and much more. For more information on how to apply, visit bridgesacademy.org.
Okay, so looking at how far you are right now, and I'm sure you're going even higher, but like, what would you say to the younger you? And any other upcoming artists that's coming and looking and listening?
I think the younger me, one thing I struggled a lot with was confidence. And that's what I actually talked about. The masterclass was not necessarily about the music, but the confidence, you know. What I struggled a lot was I doubted most of the songs, you know. And most of the songs which you guys are saying, Mabutete, those songs are really working songs. But when we did them, like,
is it not?
And that time you're listening, it's like, hey, did you hear that one from Distraction? You know? So now, and then you feel sad because there's a lot of noise and other music happening around you. And maybe at that time, the sound is not really correlating, you know?
The times,
And so I would tell my younger self to actually just be confident and just trust the initial guts, you know. And like, I think from after the Mabutete, like I've never doubted a Kususa song. Very intentional.
You can't.
Like
you can't.
With what we do, like we're very intentional. So when we release something, just know these guys, they know. Maybe if you don't like it, maybe we weren't even thinking about you at that moment. You know, I'm thinking you're not the target market. Maybe targeting Europe or we're targeting some territory, you know. So we're very intentional in what we're trying to achieve as a brand, as a label, you know, and as artists. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm sure, this is for someone who actually joined the masterclass, right, today, but he's not a co-creator, but obviously, I mean, he knew Kususa was going to be here, so he thought he should pull up on you, so there's a guy, Orion Megatroid.
Yes.
So apparently you guys like worked with him.
Yes.
And I was fortunate enough to join a program like this. Back in 2010.
Yes.
And Ublanga was like a guy. Ublanga Mazimela was a guy like who's teacher. How was it like working with Orion? I know, like
I'll tell you something. Ryan is a music genius, and that's to that. Ryan is a beast. That's all I can say. You know. So we're blessed to. I think we have had like 3 sessions with him. We're now really like close that much, you know, and like with what he does, he's very into it, you know. Like sometimes I feel intimidated. This guy loves this so much. Like is gonna explain the sense to you, and I'm like, I wish I went to Pages Academy. But like I love his energy and what he brings to the table, and he truly just understands the contrast of mixing, because he's very big in analog, mixing analog and digital, you know, whereby we bring the digital side. He's good in digital and analog. He knows how to mix it well. So it was like a great opportunity to actually work with him, you know, because we came and we learned a lot. And
and because you said something, I picked up in that like what influenced the sound is like those
compilations,
like Soul Candidates and like I remember myself to wait in an acoustic and I had to think about now you working
you know,
I'm working with OGs only. Yes, that's why we have to get Tandisa. Bucket list on the OG list. You know. So I mean, I used to be like a hardcore Soul Candy collector. And like I was always fascinated in how, because most of the time, you know, like I was a collector, but I'll go and search the songs. And you find that the song is done by Frank, some element from Germany. So that thing hit me, you know, like why, you know, why can't we do what they do, like the sound-wise, you know, and what they had mostly was the synths. They had the coolest synths. The sound was very electronic, but not going to EDM.
Sure.
Yes.
You know, because at that time EDM was big. There was like Tiesto, kind of EDM big, and then you can get like a Emmy, like that.
Yeah.
You know that song,
Sure,
man?
sure.
Very big, that song, you know. So those songs influence the sound which we are doing right now. Obviously, just based on that, and has our own. I think it's our own signature, you know, of that sound.
Yeah, I mean, your bass lines.
Sunny.
Yo.
And Mamela, people should know we cooked something very nice today with the masterclass. So you're looking very excited to finish that up. That's you're working on it now.
Already.
Because like obviously in our lab, you know, most I'm producing in techno, but what I like to do on it, I notice about there's like a space between like Africans and that kind of home tool. So I wanna like there's something that you guys do. I don't know if obviously I'm sure you do it intentionally.
Yeah.
Like your stuff is very international.
Yeah.
But yet again, you can play the guys.
Of
And
course.
it will still rock.
Yeah.
Of course.
It will still rock. So
course.
now what I want to do, I want to bring like techno and maybe have like poetry here.
Oh, yes,
on top of it.
Nice.
Not necessarily because it could be anything African.
Yeah.
So that Abandu like from overseas could like just ask them, man, what is this language? And maybe try to find out about
The language. I think
all of that.
that's a good take, actually.
Yeah, bro.
You know, one thing about Afro-House or the genre itself, it's a niche market, you know. So, like, while it's a niche market, it then makes it very non-viable. It's not commercial,
Sure.
you know. And one of the biggest bridges which I'm sure like you can attest to this. My own is trying to bridge with what Sex and the other guys are doing. They're trying to cover that commercial space so it can be more valuable, you know, to like, because now it's always been treated as underground music.
Yes,
Hey, let deep house, you know. That's why it's important to have an Osama. Or Imali, and Asanda, you know, it's important because it covers, then reintroduce the sound to a commercial space, and then makes that genre more viable.
Yeah.
And then when that is the case, then we can then explore the poetry parts and you know, just trying to answer what you're talking. You know, because if we do that, or if you do that right now, it will just go to deaf ears. Because the sound itself is not commercial. You get what I mean? So you just go on Spotify, you feel you go there, you have like 10 streams.
And I don't think there's even a radio that plays it.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so the such labels, I think that label's doing well with that, you know. I think they're doing well with trying to just maybe putting Afro in a commercial space, you know.
And that's something that always comes up in our classes, and I think it's something that our artists are suffering from is Ugo's temp and actually trying something new. Because from what you're saying right now, obviously you tried to make something that kind of didn't work, is not, you know what I mean? So people are always trying to do what's normal.
Of course.
And that always doesn't
safe. Yeah.
So I think it's quite challenging, and it's something we should be doing when at the cycle to make sure that we get out of our comfort zone. Having sessions with you guys, like coming up, it's actually quite inspirational. I mean, we've had guests, and Yazi, it's quite amazing how you all say the same thing. Like, no, I'm getting to it's the same advice all the time. It's just how you take it. So it's quite inspirational. You guys are doing a good job.
Because Friday we actually had Safe Kumba.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Seth, yeah.
The day before that, it was shown to it.
Oh, wow.
Like,
damn.
Yeah.
You guys are banging the car.
Yeah.
Imagine if we even.
So,
It's gonna be lit.
So, Auntie, like, he says like in the class group, but yeah, anyway guys, I see Bunny excited, yabo, but let me not tell you, man, yabo, who I'm bringing Monday. I'm like, no, he told us like the Friday after like I said, and he's like,
are you guys ready for the next surprise?
So I'm like, yeah. He's like, nah, you guys are gonna fade. And he just
sent the picture.
I'm like, nah, you guys are just showing off, bro.
That's cool.
Yo.
I appreciate like the reception I received today.
Yes.
You know, like for me, it's just affirmation of the work we're trying to put in. You know,
Yes.
and I was saying this like how there's a lack of. Remember, I was like, okay, everyone just wants to be an artist, and there's a lack of, you know.
Yeah.
So the work we're actually doing behind, and to make sure that our brands are actually taking back, you know, are coming back to programs like this,
Yeah.
you know, are very important, because now maybe here I lit like 4 globes.
Sure.
Which can lead other 4 globes,
Yes.
and then it becomes like
True.
a chain of that, you know. So like I really appreciate like the reception, and you guys actually just kind of just inviting, you know, Kususa to come through, and you know.
I mean, even Natsi, we were like very, like, I remember Ati saying that, oh yeah, guys, we need a podcast. I'm like, dude, I can't interview Kususa. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, what?
No.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? Label, come through, bro. I said, because yes, because I'm gonna be so like starstruck, and it's not like doing things, and she knows how I get.
I remember the feeling. Like I remember, you know, at some points you have to imagine, Nati, we were like you guys.
Yes.
To a black coffee, to a Zags, you know. You're like first time. That time we saw like, yo, these guys are killing the game, you know, like yo. And then they're like chilling next to you.
Yeah.
And then they shine up, and you're like
even now, I'm still like,
you know.
But I must say, like, okay, so I went to go and get a photo. Like, one of the first people to get a photo with you.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. And that was very intentional. Yeah, bro. Because I wanted to go back and brag.
Yeah, of course.
So,
thank
like,
you guys.
no,
Go get your coins, bro.
Yeah, like, you're such a, like, you're so humble, man.
Thank you, bro.
Like at your status, like yo.
Thank you.
But that's one thing we've been learning, Gota, from everybody that's been coming here. People are people. Like you're still human at the end of the day. You raised by mom, so you know these values. You know.
Of course, like I think that's where the anxiety and the mental health thing comes in. You know, because you can imagine the perception of everyone, they're just associated with what they think the social should be. I don't know, maybe this kind of ego, because of APC. But as I said, we're just introverts, bro. Like Tina Sabantu, born and bred Kasi, like we relate with most of his struggle. If you remember all the examples I was making, you guys know that. You know a mother saying, yeah, she's an okay, you know, you can relate to that, you know. And we human like that. But the social media land of kind of just wanting more on top of already that we're giving music. They just want more, the face, they just, it just becomes a cycle.
Of course.
And I
it
think
becomes difficult.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I think that's what made the interview like a conversation.
Yeah, it's natural.
We saw like if I back classing. I think it was gonna be much different if like Boveskis has a straight up for the class. But like
before this.
the way like Ubonga podcast, I was like, man, like even the workflow, the way you would engage in that about okay, we like so I was not stupid, can't think like okay, even the Kususa doesn't like so man.
I haven't. Like, this was the first masterclass I did. But one trick I had, because I was academic before, so I used to, after matric and during varsity time, have kids which I'll teach physics and maths. So I could, like, classrooms I'm not afraid of, you know. And like I could kind of just break the ice in every situation. That's why you're having that moment.
Like you made my day. Like, actually, my year, man, my life. Career. But like, I'm so inspired to actually even get home and like start pressing on some keys by doing my thing.
Can I ask you though? Because I heard that you were saying we've been doing this since 2010, and so like, what is the most biggest challenge for you?
Okay, so like I said, like Zaku Soken is apparent who just came through. Like Orion was like I think he hit. So I didn't think of getting like gigs outside of Icas.
Okay.
So I always thought, okay, let me just the upper election. So it was either I was too deep or I was too wide. So then kind of figure you to the clubs in town. People don't understand Nomtolo, but if you euphonic or Ken comes, it's okay for them. Because
so,
obvious also promote.
I think then what you're saying is a branding. Because the reason why I'm asking this, you know, like I'm a huge believer of at some point there has to be a working formula.
Sure.
You know? Like, if kind of that 10,000 hours rule thing, so if you do something very much, there's supposed to be kind of just a working formula. So, then it was a lack of branding, branding yourself as a specific genuine DJ, because you're saying, okay, but they'll play the music you play, but it's like, okay, since it's your phone,
makes sense.
So it's a branding thing.
And another thing is, what I did when I put it like I went to get myself to that like I look up to.
Okay.
But which was like a German guy, Benjamin. So not knowing that but this guy is actually like Oye promoter, Yezinyi clubs. Like, I didn't know. I was just managing it and messaging it and that one and he was like, oh, come through. I'm like, Are you sure? Like, and it's like, dude, you said about from the so calm. So like then like I started hearing people like saying, do you know who's your mentor? Do you know the guy? You need to Google him, bro. So like the thing is, he has made me like Mama and space way. If I know Kususa is doing better than me, I need to be close to so I can be like inspired. So he actually told me about when you play good music, but you're looking at the wrong places. Go back to where like
it's a branding thing. That's exactly what I got from you when you said goes in there. You said sounds like you too hard, so it's a branding thing.
I think it only started booming maybe like 2016. Because that's where I got like Izindao, like Congo Macapo, Grand Africa, Zongas, and now is Modular, and that's where I met actually Theo. Like, because he Afro Wednesdays every village edit.
Okay.
And I know if you guys will pull through you. I don't think I'll wake up for class going on.
The energy. Yeah. No, bro, like for me, I love to engage, you know, with obviously people younger than me, you know. Just to get the sense of challenges they're going through, you know. Because sometimes you never know on what you can assist in, you know. Because sometimes people just think, oh, okay, when you go Kususa, let's ask for a collab, you know. But sometimes, I know someone who can just maybe, as you say, branding.
Sure.
It's a PR thing, get someone who's doing marketing, you know, and that's a different journey for you.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I'm for just those interactions more than anything else, you know. And as I said before, like right now we're championing our label and we're venturing into publishing also. And then we're gonna do like talent management, you know, as a way of just maybe giving back, you know.
Sure.
Like for the longest time, Kususa has been carried by our fans and external people who just came and said, let me just maybe listen to these guys, you know. Like when we're conjuring spam, you know, to listen to our songs, but Connie Daddy, listen to the songs, you know. So it's our turn to actually just maybe pass it on, and you know, and that's why these conversations are important. The masterclass are important. Doing conferences, and those are very important.
And they're very important because Nati, they actually bring out something in us. I'm thinking of our morning session in our meditation, when we were challenged by this guy to speak to our inner voices, speak to your fear, speak to your happiness, and challenge it as an artist. And what you just said, when I said about the fear of being comfortable, that's exactly where I am right now. That's exactly what one of our peers was saying about. We just wanna do what's working ekas. And so that so you venture out because we're not talking to the right people. So Bridges is the bridge between us and you guys. So it's really working. And as I said, we do appreciate having these talks with us. But I think now okay,
one more question. One more question. Okay, so tell me, like, for guys like our friend Kususa, right? You guys are international.
Of course,
you're an international brand, like Gabon. So, what does it take to secure like your international game? Because our artists,
you know, like just. Kususa was international. Now we're local now. So our brand we were fortunate enough to break the industry internationally first.
Okay.
So this was done via the label releases, Black Coffee playing our songs.
Yes.
Beyond Black Coffee, there were other DJs. You have there are other big DJs outside, like Luciano, Diplo, Major Lazer. Those guys were actually fucking with our songs, you know. So that's led to us getting bookings because people want to put the face to the music, you know. Then we started doing bookings, and then it was vice versa because now we go and play in Europe. They pay you well in Europe. You come home. You want to play local, you're like, hey, my brother, 1.5, my brother. Negotiate. And you know, it's one of those where you actually need to kind of just also leverage and you know, you start from the lowest, you know, and that's what we did. I remember back in 2020, you know, with starting the label. Yeah, with starting the label, we started making music which can relate to the local markets. We had a song with Nak Music and Zahara Bandbako, very commercial song, but still Afro-House, released on our label, distributed by Platoon. So it's a local strategy, you know. We did one with Zamega called Victims of the Night, you know, a local song also leading up to Asanda, you know. So that was covering Lapri Chusi. We've been international, you know, so when we come home, it correlates, you know. And you know, keep on trying that or being intentional in that led us to an Asanda single, you know.
Nice.
And
oh, thanks, man, for pulling.
Thank you, bro.
Are you satisfied?
I'll never be satisfied. I'll do this like I'm so game of so party. I do schedules about
no, it's all good. It's all good. Like what we'll do the most, actually, we're also gonna just venture into lives now, you know. We were trying to just, as I said, like focusing on the label. We'll see just what we can get from, like, I'm the young kids, you know. I feel like there's a huge gap between us and other young kids who want to do Afro-House. You know, there's a huge gap in that intake. and it shouldn't be like that, you know. So with our label, we were trying to just cover that, whereby was to so there's someone who can instantly just go to Atmos Black level or Kususa level, you know, without taking 10 years or going to the natural universal routes. Now you have to sign. You have to sign to a label. You know, yeah. So.
Yeah, please don't be a stranger, man.
Please.
Yeah, Cape Town. Yeah, so far 2 hours.
It's 2 hours. Pela.
Yeah, you just came back from Japan. Come on.
Chini.
No, with Cape Town for me, right? Like I've been here for like 3 years, UCT, so I know it very well.
Oh, he did say.
So I'm like, every time I come here, I'm like, But like it has my heart, you know. The city is beautiful. I mean, I think it can, like, the sound wise, you know, it can really, really push and be a hub, you know. But it has to really be inclusive in that, you know, being very inclusive in. We want to make Cape Town a hub. If you get what I mean. If they can achieve that, it can easily take down Johannesburg, you know.
Listen.
Because I think in terms of Deep House alone, great. You have a Desson, you have a Perry Johnson, Gomi, you have a Mr. Taylor, you know. So like as a hub, if you like say music hub, you guys you have the music. But we have to be like inclusive. It's okay, let's do this together. Like how they're doing it in Jersey or how they're doing it in Durban. Because if you go to Jersey, you know piano. You know Afro-House. But if you go to Durban, you know Dome. You know, you can't dispute that. You know? So so I think once you get that formula, it will really be a hub because you have all these nice clubs also. You know, so. Yeah.
And I think Bridges is doing exactly that, grooming artists so that we are able to work together, network, you know, bringing co-creators together. I think that's where the future is heading. So as we hope to see you on the next term. Sean and I would love to have a session with you. But right about now, guys, we can love and leave you from your girl label K and with that Seko and from Kususa.
We wanna party.
Yes. Bye.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as we do making them. Remember, if you'd like to attend any of these workshops live, enroll in any of our upcoming programs. To support the work we do, you can find more information on bridgesformusic.org. Please don't forget to subscribe, as we'll be bringing new inspiring conversations soon. Until next time, keep safe.